Hey everyone, ready to dive into some seriously cool cat science? Today we're tackling feline infectious peritonitis.
FIP, right. And we're not just skimming the surface, we're going deep into the research.
You got it. We're talking about a study that could totally change how we diagnose FIP. Think algorithms, data crunching.
Cutting edge stuff.
Okay, so FIP. For anyone who's not a cat health guru, what are we talking about here?
It's a tough one. Basically, it's a disease that can be fatal to cats, and it comes from a mutated virus.
Mutated, like a cold turning into something worse.
Exactly. The virus is common. It's called feline coronavirus, FCoV. Most cats encounter it. It's no big deal. But sometimes that virus, it mutates, and then it becomes FIP.
And that's where things get tricky for vets, right? I mean, diagnosing this thing.
It's a real challenge even for the most experienced vets out there.
The symptoms I'm reading about, it's like FIP is trying to hide.
You're not wrong. It can look like so many other illnesses.
So then how do vets even begin to diagnose it with all that uncertainty?
So traditionally, it's been a mix of looking at their symptoms, analyzing blood work, sometimes even biopsies. But even then, it's not always clear, which is why this new research is so exciting. They're looking at the virus's genes, specifically something called the spike protein gene.
Spike protein gene. Sounds like we're about to get our genetics on.
We kind of are. See, that spike protein, that's how the virus attaches to a cat's cells. And when FCoV becomes FIP, there are changes, specific changes in that spike protein gene, and researchers can actually spot them.
So like a secret code in the gene that reveals if it's the regular virus or the dangerous FIP.
Exactly. And this is where it gets really interesting.
Is this where this CatBoost algorithm comes in? The name's kind of cute for something so serious.
Yeah, it does sound a little funny, doesn't it? But CatBoost, it's serious science. Basically, researchers fed it tons of data on FCoV, like how much of the virus was present, info on those spike protein mutations, and even clinical data from real cats diagnosed with FIP.
So they basically gave CatBoost a crash course in FIP, trained it to recognize the disease.
You got it. And the results, let me tell you, they are impressive.
Okay, spill the beans. How accurate are we talking?
Well, in a nutshell, the CatBoost algorithm was able to predict FIP with an accuracy of 95.41%.
95%, that's like almost perfect, right?
Pretty much. Imagine acing 95% of your exams. That's basically what this algorithm did.
Okay, wow. So big picture, what does this mean for vets? I mean, early diagnosis is key with FIP, right?
Absolutely. Early diagnosis can be a game changer. See, right now, with traditional methods, sometimes by the time we confirm FIP, it's already progressed.
So this could mean catching it before things get really bad.
You got it. And the earlier you start treatment, the better the chances for the cat.
This is really incredible stuff. But I gotta ask, how did they even land on CatBoost? Did they try other things?
Oh, they definitely did their homework. They actually compared it to a bunch of other machine learning models.
So it was like CatBoost versus the algorithm all-star.
That's exactly. They used all sorts of models, each with their own strengths. Things like logistic regression, decision trees, even neural networks.
Wow, a real algorithm showdown. But in the end, CatBoost came out on top.
It did. Consistently outperformed the competition, hitting that 95.41% accuracy.
Okay, so CatBoost is a rock star. But what about the data they used? Where did all that info on the virus come from?
That's the cool part. They dug into a ton of data from previous FIP studies, years and years of research.
A gold mine of FIP knowledge.
That's one way to put it. By pulling from all these different sources, they created this rich data set, which allowed the algorithm to learn and adapt, becoming a true FIP-detecting machine.
I know we're getting into the nitty-gritty here, but it's important to remember what this all means. This could change how vets diagnose FIP forever.
No doubt about it. This is the kind of breakthrough that can have a real impact.
It really does feel like we're on the cusp of something big. Now, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but this CatBoost algorithm, it's not foolproof, right?
You're right to be cautious. No technology is perfect, and the researchers acknowledge that. This is still early stage, and more validation is needed.
So, promising, but more to learn.
Right.
This has been one incredible deep dive so far. Listener, are you ready for round 2? We'll be back in a flash to dig deeper into how the study was done, the limitations, and what the future holds for this exciting new era of FIP diagnosis. All right, everyone, welcome back. Let's unpack this study a bit more, shall we? Because impressive results are one thing, but I always want to know how they got there.
Oh, absolutely. The how is key. And this study, they were really thorough in laying out their methodology, making sure it's all transparent and replicable.
Which is important, right?
Yeah.
Especially in research, you got to be able to follow the recipe.
Exactly. Builds trust and all that. Now, They did mention some limitations, which, to their credit, they were very upfront about. One of the big ones being the size and diversity of the data set.
Ah, so like with any good experiment, gotta have the right ingredients. What were they missing?
So they mostly use data from past research,
Yeah.
which is great, don't get me wrong, but it might not represent all cats out there. Like certain breeds might be overrepresented or the data might be skewed towards specific locations.
So to make this algorithm even better, they'll need to expand that data pool, make it more inclusive.
Exactly. A wider, more diverse data set will help ensure the algorithm is accurate for all kinds of cats, not just a select few.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've talked about CatBoost's accuracy, but even with amazing tech, there's always a chance of things going wrong, right? Like, could the algorithm get it wrong?
You're spot on to ask that. No technology is perfect, and the researchers are very clear about that. They emphasize that CatBoost, while promising, shouldn't replace a vet's judgment.
So it's a tool, a powerful tool, but just one tool in the toolbox.
Precisely. There's always that small chance of false positives or negatives. A cat might be flagged as having FIP when they don't, or vice versa. That's why this algorithm is meant to be used alongside those traditional methods like exams and blood work.
The best of both worlds, really. Technology and veterinary expertise working hand in hand.
Exactly. It's a partnership.
Okay, so what's next for this research? What's on the horizon?
The possibilities are really exciting. They're talking about refining the algorithm even further, making it even more precise. Maybe incorporating more data points, like breed, age, even lifestyle factors, to make it even more personalized.
Wow, a future where vets have this kind of technology at their fingertips, that could be huge.
It's an amazing time to be in veterinary medicine, that's for sure.
This has been one mind-blowing deep dive. Seriously, I feel like we just scratched the surface of this research. For our listeners who want to go even deeper down the rabbit hole, we'll be sure to link the full study in the show notes.
It's a fascinating read, even if you're not a data scientist.
Totally agree. And remember, from Vet NeuroJar, keep those minds inspired, hearts light, and tails wagging.